Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan, and we just watched the Cheez-It Bowl. At least I watched the Cheez-It Bowl, and I was impressed. I was impressed overall by what we saw from Tennessee. If you didn't know the score, it was 35-0. 35-0. Tennessee whooped Iowa. Very nice to see. I was not expecting Tennessee to get over 30 points. I was really not, and we could have probably got the 40. But we decided not to try to force our way into the end zone, which is, I guess, a more respectable thing to do. And I don't do this for live reactions, but since it's a themed bowl game, I have some Cheez-Its here. So, since we've won, I'm going to eat a little bit here. And also, Cheez-Its are, in my opinion, one of the better snacks known to man. So, I know we didn't make the playoffs or anything, but let's get some Cheez-Its. Great, like always. Main takeaway from this game. Nico is as good as we say he's going to be. Because this man here, he went 12 for 19, 151 for a touchdown. Okay, yeah, might think like that's okay. That's not a great game, of course. But the thing about that is that he didn't really have to throw a whole lot. But running the ball, he had 3 rushing touchdowns. Great job running the ball. He was able to get out the pocket, make some great plays, and he probably would have had 2 touchdowns if Ramel Keyton knew how to follow a ball. Because he threw a perfect pass to the corner, to the pylon, it would have been like a 50-something yard touchdown. But Ramel Keyton stopped running. I guess he just thought he was going to underthrow it. I don't know. Ramel Keyton had a drop earlier today. You already know my opinion about Ramel Keyton if you've never watched my video before. Ramel Keyton is the most frustrating player on this whole team, in my opinion. Even more than Milton was, because he kept dropping everything. But the contested catches he was catching, I don't know. I don't know why. It was like Amari Cooper early in his NFL career. It seemed like every easy pass he had, he would drop. But if it was anything above his head or in double coverage, he was catching. It was very confusing. But running game. The run game today was great. We're led by Dylan Sampson. He had, let me get this up real quick, 20 carries for 133 yards. He didn't score a touchdown, but that's okay. We had 232 yards rushing. They allow, as a team, like 235 total yards, Iowa does. So holding them, so getting that total pretty much against a very elite a very elite defense is very nice to see. Because even though this is Iowa, you don't have an offense, holding them to 0 points is still impressive, and scoring 35 on them is also very impressive, because that was something even Michigan couldn't do. Michigan couldn't do that, and a lot of other teams that were very good couldn't do that. This was the most points I think anyone put up on Iowa this year, even more than Penn State, more than Michigan. So that's a positive sign. James Pierce had a touchdown. That was the pick 6 because Darren Hill or whatever the quarterback was for the Iowa Hawkeyes was egregiously awful. And then they switched them out with a different guy. And then that guy looked pretty good overall. I mean, he was running the ball pretty well. He was doing the main thing. So I'd be surprised if that guy's not the starter next year, unless if Cade McNamara can come back. And even then, this guy had actual promise that you can run the ball, but he can run too. But 232 yards rushing for Tennessee, 151 passing yards. Nico was very accurate. We had 2 or 3 drops today. That was bad. Only problem with Nico that I saw, which is not a big issue yet, unless this continues, is that he doesn't throw the ball away. He does not, when the pressure gets there, he sometimes either steps up, tries to roll out and make a play. Sometimes that's available, but sometimes it's enclosed on both sides and in the middle. And if that's the case, you gotta throw the ball away. There's a couple times that I think there was 2 or 3 times, that there was nothing there. He could have thrown the ball away, but he took a 5 or 6 yard loss and put us back far on 3rd down, which against Iowa, you cannot afford long 3rd downs. You can afford 3rd and 6 and anything in from them. But anything 3rd and double digits, like 3rd and 10 on, you're just not going to pick that up. They're too good defensively for that to happen. And Nico, for him, I love the speed that he ran with. He was very quick. I think he was smarter with his runs than Milton is. Milton's obviously more of a physical runner. I think he's probably even faster, but Nico's more quick. He's more quick with his burst. Get out, here we go. Very good football IQ that we saw from him. And this is what Tennessee was. This was one thing I really liked to see. We only had 3 penalties, and 2 of them were on the first drive. We had a bad thing with penalties throughout the year. That was good that we slowed down. And then we had more than double the amount of first downs Iowa had. And a lot of Iowa's first downs they had was on that one drive that they subbed in the quarterback for the first time. So we had to get used to how they were going to play. They had 12 first downs. We had 25. Very good stuff. We forced turnovers. Great thing. We had 0 turnovers. Great thing to see from Nico. He did not force the ball. If he didn't see anything open, he'd either take a sack or try to extend the play, which I'd rather you do that than try to force something and then make a bad play. I mean, make it a play that is going to put you back a little bit into a very bad play that's going to hurt your defense a lot. You know what I mean? Like, there's a big difference between a 5-yard sack and an interception. Huge difference. We led in time of possession barely, 30 minutes and 12 seconds compared to 29 minutes and 48 seconds. And we held them to 2 for 15 on third down. I don't care who you are. You're a Power 5 school in the top 25. You getting held to 2 for 15 on third down, you're probably going to lose. And seeing our defense do that was very nice to see. How many sacks did we get on the day? I might say here. I'm not sure how many sacks we got. I think we got 4, 5. We got a high total. James Pierce played out of his mind. A lot of great push from the middle from like Amarian Thomas and players like that. Overall, I like how our secondary played. It's a very young group because we have a lot of guys leaving for Oxford. They're going down to play at Ole Miss. So it's going to be interesting to see how the secondary is going to play against very good competition. But right here, Iowa had a couple drops, but we were able to be very good in the secondary consistently, which was nice to see. And yeah, that's my main takeaways. Dylan Sampson looks very good. I like how Chaz Nimrod played. I think he's going to be a good receiver. I like what he can do. Number 84, I think the last name's Webb. I like what I saw from him too. He's able to catch it. Those comeback routes are able to just get the yards that he could get off of that. Great blocks by him too. He had a great block that helped out Squirrel White get a first down. A lot of that stuff. Number 23, the running back. He looks pretty good too. He's more of a physical back. And then Dylan Sampson's spin move is great. He had a drop early on in the game, which is fine because it ended up not hurting us later on, of course. So, yeah, I would like to see D. Williams get a part of this offense. Get him some good reps, get him some catches. Because if he's able to do that too, he will kind of, I'm not comparing him to this guy, of course. But use him like how some people use like a Cordell Patterson. Like, he's your returner, but you can use him offensively to a high level because you put him in space, you give him plays. And Cordell Patterson's more physical, of course, but it's the idea of using him offensively would be nice to see. And especially with his speed and agility, sending him deep with Nico's accuracy would be very nice to see. I would have liked him to take the more deep shots, but against Iowa's offense, I see why. Against Iowa's defense, I see why. You don't want to make them make a big mistake and then give them a chance to do something. Iowa had a very good drive in the very early part of the mid part of the first quarter. And they threw an interception. Great job, number 17. I'm pretty sure that intercepted the ball. Great job by him intercepting the pass. And yeah, when Iowa had some drives going, Tennessee locked it up when they had to, mainly on fourth downs. Good stuff, Tennessee. I like how we played. Won the Cheez-It Bowl. End up the year 9-4. Going to finish in the top 25. We're less than an hour away from the Rose Bowl, Michigan versus Alabama. Check out my video about that. It's a preview for that one. And then Washington and Texas will be falling afterwards in the Sugar Bowl. I've also did a preview about that. Check that out. I'll be doing live reactions for both of those games. And yeah, Oregon just whooped Liberty. Not a surprise to anyone. Great job by Bo Nix. And barely LSU won. Oh, Garrett Nussmeier looks pretty good, but they made Taylor Mordecai look like an elite quarterback, which he is nothing less than trash. So yeah. So that's my live reaction. That's my opinion. I would love to hear in the comments what you all have to say. I like how Nico played. I think he just gets more used to the game style. Brock Osweiler and them were just raving about him the whole game, which was very nice to see. So yeah, a lot of hypes around this guy. Look like he can live up to it. I hear he's humble. Very humble guy. I like to hear that. All the good stuff you want in a quarterback, you saw from him. So yeah. So yeah, put in the comments what you feel about this game. Hope you all have a great day. Stay safe, y'all, and God bless y'all.